That was great.
Okay,
Thank you.
You said before you mentioned the genre pop.
Yes.
I wouldn't call that pop because that actually has some social message to it, doesn't it?
Well, I think there is pop that has social messages, but probably I would call it pop because it has those kind of melodic sensibilities. It's not ultra alternative kind of melodically. I really do love that kind of having a nice consistent structure in a song, and maybe that's partly too because of my classical background. I've kind of learnt to appreciate a certain style in the melody. So, yeah.
You're pretty famous for one of your old tracks called Toast.
Yes.
Are you? Is that like Sadie the Cleaning Lady to John Farnham? Do you regret that?
it could be. It could be. I don't know if I regret it though. I mean, it was a silly song that I wrote as a 17-year-old who had not a care in the world, and excuse me, I think that's kind of what you do at 17.
If you're not bearing the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah, at the time it was a hit. People loved it and everybody said, Carolyn, Toast, yeah.
Yes. Yes. It's the problem with writing silly songs though, isn't it? They do come back to bite you if, if it became a worldwide hit.
So the method of writing your songs nowadays, is that a real hard labour or did they just come to you?
It is a mixture of two things. It's probably 95% I can write in the space of about half an hour or an hour, but actually getting it to that point where I'm 100% happy, that extra 5% could take days, weeks, years. I've still got songs kicking around that I've got part of it, but I'm just not happy with the rest of it. So it just sits there until maybe one day I'll have a serendipitous moment and it'll actually just all click. But yeah, I've done a couple of different kind of ways of songwriting, and I think one of my most productive periods was when I was at university and I'd have breaks between lectures. I'd go back to my car and I'd keep my guitar in the car and I'd just sit in the back seat for an hour, and I'd spend 55 minutes futzing around going, I can't think of anything, and then just in that last 5 minutes I'd hit some real gold. And that kind of I'd always make sure I keep a little recorder with me and I'd just record those ideas, and then that became the basis of quite a lot of songs for that second album that I did. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hear another song, and after that, we'll get into your German period.
Yeah.
As all good artists say.
Yeah.
So, what have you got for us as well?
Well, this next one I think I'll do. It's called "Advice to the Young." So it's the first track on the album, and it's sort of this scenario of a mother talking to her adult son about life and that kind of thing. So any advice that she's trying to give to her son, and is he listening to it, or is the arrogance of youth is the arrogance of youth veiling his understanding of what she's trying to offer as some wisdom